Yo, Star Creators Africa.
Pack, I like
Look, reality check. Check it. What you don't know, tell it. What you don't
Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of Reality Check. I'm your host Ella, and this is
My name is Ariel, and we are your favorite Mythbusters. We're here to clear some misconceptions in the creative industry. I mean, as tired of hearing creatives are lazy, there's no money in the creative industry, or that content creation is a very easy process.
exactly, and this is why today we have here with us the bright, the beautiful, the amazing Matilda. Hi guys, hi. Thank you so much for having me. Exactly. So Matilda, could you kindly say something little about yourself? Tell us who are you?
So my name is Matilda Akantuba. I am a number of things actually. I consider myself a very talented person. Actually, I consider myself to be multi-talented. I am a content creator, YouTuber, social media influencer, professional model. The list could go on and on and on. I sing, I write music. I do so many things in the creative space. And so all in all, you just call me a creative. Yeah.
Okay. So for today, we have you here for content creation. So I would like for you to tell us about your journey. How did you get into content creation? What inspired it? All of that.
So I started creating content 2 years ago, if I remember correctly. This was when COVID hit, and everybody was just bored at home. And how it started for me was I used to take photos of my little sister. So she at the time was like on social media, and I think at the time blowing up on Instagram was really a thing because a lot of people blew up around that time. Like a lot of people who are known influencers now blew up during COVID. And so I used to take her photos for her. She used to stress me out and it used to be so annoying because like she always wants to get the angles right. I could take like 100 photos and she's not satisfied.
It's such a perfection.
Exactly. So basically what piqued my interest was honestly the editing and all of that. I remember that she used to edit her photos and I never knew you could edit like your face to make it so and that you could do this and you could do that. And then when I'm scrolling through Instagram, I think at the time the transitions had just come fresh, or maybe they're always there, but you know, like the transitions of you changing into like a different outfit. There was this particular girl I was following, so I was like, ooh, I think I could do this. And so that's just really how it started for me. I was like, you know what, maybe I could do something, you know, around this same thing. And aside that, my family has always been in the media space. You know, they're always handing cameras. Growing up, I'll come home and there are cameras in my house and there are producers and there are directors and you're hearing them shouting silence on set and things like that. So I would say it has always been in my family's blood to be like in the content creating space. And so I guess I'm destined to be here. Yeah.
Okay, so there's this thing we actually hear around like very often, right? People think content creation is just, oh, I open my camera, I take a picture and that's it. Like it's very easy. So tell us like what actually like, what's the process about? Is it very involving? Like,
I think it depends on exactly what you want, like the type of story you want to tell. I think everybody's storytelling process is different. And so depending on how much you want the audience to be involved in your story, that's going to equate into how you create the content. And so, yes, I think it can be as simple as taking a photo and writing a caption, and that's how you're telling your story. But it could also be as difficult as getting all these equipments and, you know, having the right people at the back. Sometimes you cannot even tell, you can't be the only person to tell your story. So maybe you need help from maybe a stylist, you need help from maybe someone to write a script for you, someone to, you know, take you the photo or, you know, record you. So it depends on where you are on the, you know, the yardstick or whatever it is. So as I already said, depending on how much of your story you want to share or how deep you want the story to be, all that depends on how basically your content is going to be created.
and so what kind of content do you create? So we say fashion or like a bit of everything?
I'll say mostly lifestyle content, but sometimes I'll do fashion content, sometimes I'll do beauty content, but mainly lifestyle content. Yeah.
So we've seen you work with big brands. I think I'm not sure if it was your most recent one. I think, was it Revlon or Revolve?
No, it wasn't Revolve.
What was it? The makeup brand.
The makeup.
Oh my God,
which makeup
I
brand?
remember.
What did Maybelline? Is that what?
Yeah, Maybelline. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my most recent you know.
So how many makeup brands
Makeup.
have you? Oh, okay.
Well, with makeup brand, not many. I mean, I've worked with makeup artists, but to be working with a makeup brand like Maybelline,
Yeah.
that was, I would say, Ghana sometimes is who you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe not just, I don't think it was just a thing of, oh, I know this person, and so like she's right for the job. It was also a thing of, am I actually qualified to do the job? Because many times people feel like, okay, they know certain people, so it's just going to put them in certain places. But it's not all about that. So your work also needs to speak for you. And so, so with Maybelline, I was working with, I've been working with a certain makeup artist for a long time. Through that, I think they saw my images on her page, and then they said that they wanted me to model for them. And so that's how I landed the job with Maybelline.
Okay. So would you consider yourself a famous person? Because, I mean, I work with big brands now. Everyone knows the Matilda, So, yeah, do you consider yourself
I wouldn't consider myself famous, but I would say that I am, people do know who I am when I walk into a room. I feel like famous is a stretch. Like famous is like world famous. I don't know. That's just how I feel. Or maybe just, the honest or the humble side of me is coming out and I'm not trying to admit it. But honestly, I do feel that quite a number of people know me when I go somewhere. They recognize me from somewhere. Maybe Miss Malaika, or, oh, I saw your social media, or I know you from this place, that place. So yeah.
Okay, so judging from your personal experience, you practically learned to be a content creator. So do you think anybody out there can actually be a content creator?
I'll say yes and no. I feel like everything is passion driven. And so even though I'm still learning to be, a creative, I'm still learning so many things in the creative space. I would say that if you don't have passion for it, you cannot continue to remain in the space, because in a country like Ghana, in the very beginning, it's not a lucrative business. You need to have hacked or, unlocked or opened some doors basically what I'm trying to say, open some levels or reach a certain level before you're able to, make the level of income that you probably wish to make when you want to, be a full-time content creator. So basically, it's a yes and no situation. It's not really a thing of, it's basically passion driven. That's all I'm trying to say. Yeah, if you don't have passion for it, I honestly would not advise you to be in this space.
So you really made a lot of investments in the beginning.
Honestly, I'm not even going to lie right now.
Some creators actually visit restaurants I really need to create content, so I just want to visit here to have aesthetic content.
Yeah,
was it like that?
Honestly, what I'm even going to say is not even about the going to places investment. It's the equipment investment. Like today, I was literally crying because for the first time I purchased the camera. I mean, it's still on the way, but I've never, aside my iPhone, I've never said, okay, I want to go and buy this camera. And the money that left my account, not just the camera, the accessories that come with the camera. I don't think I've ever spent that amount of money in a span of 2 days. So today I was just whining to somebody who is a photographer, and he was telling me that this is my small, money that I'm putting to this thing. I'm crying. Do I know how much? And you call it a big figure? And I was it's just the starter kit that I got. And so honestly, it depends. Investing into this space definitely pays off. It is not cheap, but for me, I think the most expensive side is getting the gear, the camera equipment, not really going to restaurants, because sometimes it depends. Honestly, it just depends on your income and how you're starting and all of that. But for me, I think it's just the camera equipment that is killing me right now. That is the most expensive.
What is your take on create the content the clients will come?
Oh, this one, you want to put me in trouble.
Lots of investment.
Create the content the clients come. Meaning, no matter what content you create, the clients will come.
Yeah, that way do your thing and then just reaction. The right audience to come around.
Oh yeah, I feel like if it's destined for you, honestly,
She's not destined for you.
Yeah, that's it. I'm sorry.
Even if it's passion driven?
Yeah, pretty much. And that's a waste of time.
It's
not really a waste of time. I feel like life is unfair, honest. It's not everybody that has... There's not, everybody dreams. Everybody has big dreams, but not everybody is going to end up rich. Not everybody is going to end up, getting what they actually have always wanted. people leave this earth and they haven't even accomplished half of what they want to accomplish. And so I think, it shows like it's the same thing in this like creative space. If you're not destined to be there, I'm so sorry, but no matter what you do, no matter how much you spend, no matter, it's just not going to work out, because unfortunately, whatever you believe in, I believe in God. Maybe God doesn't want you to be there. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents on that.
Okay, so do you think as a content creator, you have to be on every social media platform, or you can just pick maybe Instagram and...
Depending on what you want, that's what I would say. Because personally, I don't think I need to be on every single social media platform. Honestly, it's not that practical, and I don't think it's very easy to keep up. At the end of the day, I feel like you would be in a situation where you would want to create your content for that space and not necessarily because you like that content. I think I've been in a situation like that. I don't know what example to give, but even let me say Twitter. Like, I cannot be at Twitter influencer. I'm sorry. Have you seen the views? They will come for you right now. And so like that's just a space for my own mental health. I can't be on. So I have a Twitter account, but I'm not active. Even if you go on my Twitter bio, it says I only retweet because I don't want trouble. So that's just that. And I even feel like with TikTok, a lot of people repurpose their content on Instagram and put it on TikTok, and they see that it doesn't do as well, because I feel like they're two different platforms. People go on TikTok for something. Like, I go on TikTok for the real life. Like, I don't know if you get what I mean. Like, I want to go on TikTok and see someone in her bonnet telling me some story time about, but if you bring that, like, even I'm a victim. Sometimes I bring my Instagram content to TikTok, but I just feel like it can't really work out. You just need to focus on, exactly. There's so many different strategies for so many different platforms. So you just have to figure out which one works best for you and just make that your primary one. If you want to still have the other social media accounts, that's fine. But just, I feel it's always best to focus on one and just kill that one that you're focusing on. Yeah.
Okay, so content creator, and obviously over here there's this misconception that content creators, their job isn't like professional. It's not very lucrative. It's not a real job. So have there been any instances where you have been somewhere doing your thing, or you've wanted to do something, and because of that you haven't been able to do that?
Oh yeah, there was so many instances. Let me even touch on that one, the one that says that it's not a real job.
Yeah.
Honestly, you can say what you want, but there are content creators who are making so much money. Continue talking in your house. You have no idea. I feel like, honestly, people who talk like that, like, especially in this age where social media is literally taking over.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you just need to change your mindset. That's not me. That's a you problem. Why are you trying to project your, problems onto me? Aside that, I just feel like with things that have hindered me from creating content, it's just because of where we are in this country.
Yeah.
A lot of people still do not understand what it is. They see you even holding, like, I can go to a restaurant. I even had a recent encounter. I went to a restaurant. I was literally just taking photos, and like their attitude was funny. It was as if like I was looking, someone keep staring. We came to the restaurant. I had ordered food. I had ordered drinks. It was me and my friend. We're both content creators. We're taking pictures of each other. Then there's an issue. They walk up to me, please, no picture policy. I'm like, why is that no? Like, what has to taking picture? They're telling me that the other guests are not comfortable. Hello, madam. Honestly, I don't even want them in my picture. Like, they are the ones who are disturbing me. So, honestly, I'm not trying to, like, put anybody in my picture. Whenever I'm even taking pictures, I try to make sure that nobody's around because they are spoiling the aesthetic. So, honestly, I don't understand the mindset. Even me, as I was saying, I've gotten a camera now.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm going to keep flexing.
Okay, girl.
I've gotten a camera now, and, like, I'm even scared to hold a camera and wear a vlog. Because when I'm holding my mobile phone and I'm just like, everyone is acting up. Like, hey, why are you holding a camera? No, you're not allowed to do it. Or you have to pay something to be able to do it. What's restaurants? I'm like, I don't know what is going to be when that camera, officially gets here. But I think it's just something I have to seize. And I think every industry has a struggle. Every industry has something that hinders, the person or whatever it is from doing what they need to do there. So I guess it's just one of those things, but I just have to figure my way out and just hit it, I guess. Yeah.
From the beginning, did you ever feel like the brands were paying you what you were worth?
Honestly, till now, sometimes just have to you have to eat, so it's like, okay, let's look at it. You know, sometimes you have to try your own small. But honestly, I feel like we still have a long way to go in regards to brands, you know, paying what you're actually worth. And all brands want to pay you with exposure and all of that. Like, it's like in this current situation, is the exposure worth it? I don't understand it. But honestly, we have a long, long way to go. But I believe that we'll, you know, what we're doing here is going to make it better.
We get there.
I guess we'll get there. By God's grace. Fingers crossed.
So some people actually have this misconception that content creators are very lazy. Like, what do you think about that?
Wow, that's weird. Honestly, it is not an easy job. It looks like it's just because sometimes I tell people who are not in the space or how much I made from maybe a post. You made that amount from just posting one picture.
Is it a lot?
No, I see like a lot of money.
Okay.
Like, wow, they paid you for this cheap job. Like, you know, I think someone even passed a comment about how he does something that's not so difficult and was trying to compare both and saying that I even thought my job was easy, but look at you, something like that. And honestly, I didn't take offense because it's something we hear all the time that content creators are lazy. It's just an easy way out. It's for school dropouts. I've heard that. Yeah, because if you actually go online and you look at the percentage of people who actually dropped out of school to become maybe YouTubers or something, there are quite a lot of people there.
But why do you think they actually dropped out of school? Is it because like they want to pursue their passion?
Yeah, I think it's basically
And
it's just basically that they want to pursue their
not
passion.
necessarily because
And
they're lazy people.
What I see is that a lot of people who are in the creative space, in schools, they'll say, yeah, you know, I think it starts from school. They try to say that you're not serious, you don't like books, like you don't like math, you don't like this. And yeah, I'm creative. That's why I don't like to go by the book. Like, do you get what I mean? Because creative people don't like to go by the book. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some people who are like in the creative space that are like serious, like medical people, like in the law school, like actually like into math and economics. Like me, like this, I'm doing economics. Did you know that? I don't think you knew that. But yeah, like it's not easy to mix all these things, and it takes a very like super person to be able to still be in school and still want to be in this field. So when they say that content creators are, trust me, if I tell you to go and stand somewhere, let's say I tell you that you should go and stand on the road, like maybe just outside here. Let me just take you 4 pictures. You see them. Oh no, I'm so shy. Like everybody's looking at me. Like the makeup is too heavy. Oh, maybe like even in the modeling space, to be standing in heels for hours. Trust me, it takes a lot of patience, a lot of people skills to be in this space, a lot of intelligence, because a lot of people see it as always something that, you know, is the easy, like if it's so easy, I think you should just get your camera and do it then, you know? So I think it just takes a lot of courage to want to do something like this, just because of the many misconceptions surrounding, you know, the space. Like so many people have so many ill things to say. I feel like, especially depending on your parents, I for one, I have very supportive parents. And I also believe this is because they are like creatives themselves, like they are in the media space. And so knowing that myself and my little sister, you know, are into content creation, it wasn't a big deal. My mom is my biggest supporter. My mom is like my sister's manager. She'll be the one to ask, have you done this content? Like, have you gone through your contract? My mom is always, but not everybody has that. And I just feel like it's just because of the understanding. And that's why it's very important to always, you know, make your, you know, the people in your life see, because the people in your life are your biggest supporters. And so if they are not supporting you, already you'll be discouraged. So I think you just need to make them see that, Charlie, this is what I'm doing. This is what I love. This is the passion. Like, it's not a stupid job. It's not that. And so, yeah. So many misconceptions. But I believe that one day we would actually, you know.
So many misconceptions.
So many.
Girl, I'm leaving it to you. I want you to give me at least 3 of your biggest misconceptions that you think should be addressed now that we haven't talked about.
Put me on the spot. 3 of my biggest misconceptions
As a content
creator.
For the industry, in the industry.
That they just want, okay, number 1, they are cloud chasers. I've heard this a long time.
Yeah.
And not just the people behind the camera. Like I'm talking about the people who are in front of the camera. They are cloud chasers. They want to have a fan base.
Yeah.
They want to feel important.
Going
all of
the
that.
website.
Yeah, like, and I feel like even you see things online, like when someone says, I think there was a comment, I saw something about someone saying that mention a celebrity that blocked you, that like it hurt your feelings or something like that. Somebody mentioned an influencer's name. And then the guy was like, I said celebrity. Wow. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why people are so pressed about people in the. I think it's a problem. Honestly, personally, I feel like if you are so pressed about somebody being in this space, somebody being all up in your face, like they don't need to. You can just block them. You can just like, why are you so pressed? You should go to the comment section of people who are in this space. I don't think, maybe some people come because they want fame, which I don't think is a bad thing. I mean, everybody has what they think. Like, why should somebody be shamed because they want to be famous or they want to be on your screens and things like that? I'm saying all of this just to say that at the end of the day, it takes a lot of courage to do what I'm doing right now. Like, even as I'm sitting here, maybe I'm shaking inside, but you don't know. Because at the end of the day, it's not a walk in the park. And so I think you just need to give these people their flowers. You need to pat them in the back and just encourage them that, this thing that you're doing, you try, because if it were me, I couldn't do it. Like, just admit that you can't do it instead of you trying to be pressed and all of these things. And so that's like one of the misconceptions. Another thing I would say is, so basically, I feel like some people in this space don't help the whole ecosystem. I feel like it's a whole
fellow creatives.
Fellow creatives. Like, be it maybe an influencer, a photographer, a fashion designer. I feel like we don't help each other, and that's part of the problem. Because, for instance, right, you know that we are all struggling here, right? Then you go and tell maybe a brand that, maybe I tell you my rates. In fact, let me start from there. What are your rates? I tell you my rates. Then you send me some emoji like, hey, really? Why are you charging? Your charge is so high. First of all, that's so unprofessional. Why are you telling me that I'm charging too high? Like, calm down, okay? And it's crazy because this is not even like a random person who's maybe working as maybe this company's manager or whatever. Sometimes they go through like maybe fellow photographers or fellow maybe makeup artists. They just say that you should, talk to this model for me or talk to me. I don't like that, but it happens. So, I mean, you have to get the bag anyway. So for me, I just feel like it hurts me that somebody who is also in this space does not understand what we are actually doing. And I always feel like most times influencers and even models are at the end. Like, we are the end of this whole list. We are the back.
Don't respect us.
And the ones who are the most disrespected. That's how, that's how I feel. Yeah, maybe the photographers also have their stories to tell. And the, makeup artists and everybody has their story to tell. But personally, I just feel like sometimes I'm like, can you just cut us some slack? So I'm just trying to say that I feel like we all need to help ourselves. We all need to help each other. If you see someone charging this, I remember that there was something happened online and people were coming for this person that, why is she charging this much? And that, hey, I don't want to mention names because, but like, she's not a target market, Like, people don't understand what goes into this. And I feel like the person who was even like attacking this fellow creative, in my mind, I'm like, you wouldn't have asked for the person's rate if you didn't see something in the person. So why the person sent you how much they're charging and now you are like iffy about it? So so that's the second one. Just, it's an ecosystem, and so we all need to help each other. And so it's just really sad when the people who are also in the ecosystem are not, trying to, help and all of that. And then I think the third misconception I would say is, this is mostly centered on models because, I mean, they're all part of the ecosystem. Just models wanting to do this job to get some rich men. I've heard that.
Really?
I've heard that one. So I know you heard it too. Look, when this Portal Potty thing came, if you know Portal Potty, I'm not going to give details. Google it, whatever. I mean, it's too disgusting to talk about what that is. But when this Portal Potty issue was all over the internet, the first point of contact was models and influencers. Yeah, that's what the influencers go to do when they go to Dubai. Yeah, that's what influencers are always the ones who are doing the ashawo business. And you see, the most painful part is people don't also understand how much, not everybody, but certain people are making. And so once they see that you're living the flashy life, automatically, oh yes, one sugar daddy that has paid for
I
him.
like to watch the lifestyle.
Oh, right. Oh, it's one sugar. This one, some man being in the back has paid. Look, you can go to sometimes my comment section on YouTube. Why are you not showing us the man that took you there? Why are you not doing the see? That's the one I hate the most. Okay, what if it's my daddy? What is it like? Why wouldn't you think it's my father? Why do you think it's like some? So it's always somebody else that is funding the influencer lifestyle. And I just think that's one of the craziest misconceptions. Yeah, definitely there are people who are doing that. And honestly, it's their life to live. What's your problem? Like, why are you arguing that somebody is, getting their bag from somewhere? But at the end of the day, I just feel like it's just very unfair that it has been branded as what is going on behind the scenes, and that's how they get, their money, and that's how they're always chasing men, or men are always chasing them because, they are in the limelight. And so yeah, those are just my 3 top misconceptions in the industry.
Okay, since you've mentioned models, I might as well just add this. So my question for you now is that, do you think that it is only conventionally attractive people that are most likely to make it big in the industry?
I'll say yes and no. Now, don't come for me. I think everybody's beautiful. But honestly, I would say that this is show business. Everybody wants to look at something that's, let me say, attractive to them. Aesthetically pleasing. I'm not calling anybody ugly. I mean, if you're pressed, then you should check yourself. But like, honestly, I just think it's just the way life works, beauty is relative, I would say. Somebody could see me as the most beautiful person, somebody could see me as the ugliest girl she's ever met. So it just really depends. And I would say no because there are people who are big on social media. This thing I'm about.
Girl.
That are not like, to me, professionally, like, it's not, like, basically what I'm trying to say is they are beautiful, but it's not their beauty that is making them blow up online. And basically,
It doesn't have to be the money.
Like, it depends. Like, there's talent, there's so many things that people have that, makes them who they are online. So at the end of the day, it's a yes or no thing. It depends. But most of the time, we do see, that, oh, yeah, this girl is very beautiful. But it's just a show business thing. I don't think it's a personal thing. It's just like when you're watching TV, you like to see, everybody likes to see nice things. So it's just a visual effects that whoever is, making the production or whoever is in charge wants to have on the people, on the audience. And honestly, I would say it's also the people, because why are you following her? What's the reason? Like, I don't force you to follow anybody. So why are all these people blowing up? Because you think that they are, beautiful, or you think that they have something that you're looking for. So at the end of the day, everybody has, what they have in their heads when they follow all these people. So yeah, I would say it's a yes and no, situation.
Okay, so my very last question for you is, what's your relationship with clients like?
My relationship with clients.
Actually, I want to talk about your toughest client.
My toughest client.
Tell us about them. Those are the guys who are here for, so women.
Good. Okay. So I would say generally, I think I'm a very easy person to work with. I'm not using my own horn. I just think I don't, when I'm on set, I think I like to make it like a friendly environment. It's not that serious, because when you are with people that you don't really flow with, I think it translates onto the work. At the end of the day, it's something that you are, I feel like when you're creating something, it's from inside. So whatever you bring outside is what you're feeling inside. And so I always try to make sure that, okay, it's a smooth working environment. Honestly, if from us interacting, I can see that you're going to be difficult, also depending on how much you're going to pay, I will probably just say, okay, no, I'm not really interested, because I can see that this client is going to be difficult. There are difficult people everywhere. And me, I probably can't think of my toughest one, but I have worked with people who have given me a headache. Like, I'm just like, are you serious? And sometimes it's not even just the clients, it's also the people on the set. Look, some people are like, I don't know how to say, but some people are just, I don't have a story, unfortunately. At the top of my head, I don't have a story. But I just know that I've worked with certain clients. And honestly, it's all about patience and just, you're going to leave at the end of it. So it's not necessary to bring all of that to work. You need to take it seriously. It's a professional job. You can't go and be having like a sassy attitude. Like, what do you think? It's not that serious. Like, you need to be on your best behavior. So no matter what, you just need to, put on your best, do what you are there for. Because at the end of the day, in this thing, I always say it's an ecosystem. We're all connected. If you go and you do something, trust me, somebody you don't know has heard about it and they've already blacklisted you. That's just how it works. Like, you'll be wondering why you're not getting paid or you're not getting, it's because of that one thing you said to someone. And they probably deserve to hear whatever you said. But at the end of the day, it's just like everybody is kind of connected in this space. And so you just want to, fake the smiles if you have to. Just do it. At the end of the day, it's work. So just, have a professional approach to things. And I guess we'll all be fine. Okay, so there's one thing I want to speak on, and that's the interaction that goes behind the scenes with clients. For me, I think everybody has a process that they go through. It will probably have the same things, but it depends on the individual. And so for me, personally, I like emails because I think it's just the most professional way. Nobody can come and give you some emoji.
Yeah.
It's just straightforward, straight to the point. Yeah, we're getting it done. This is what it says, and there's something that's binding you. I feel like when, conversation goes on text, it's just messy. And at the end of the day, it's not solid proof. Sometimes people can do you dirty. There's nothing to show that, okay, this person said this and we didn't go by this. People can send messages. So many things. So first of all, I just like emails, right? But in Ghana, it's as if people are allergic to emails. People don't know how to send emails. Look, a company can send you an email and everything is in the subject.
Wow.
I'm like, are you serious right now? Look, so I'm saying all this to say that people need to just step up, and I feel like it's all part of how they don't respect the industry. Because honestly, if you are going to talk to someone you respect, you would do you do the due diligence to do the research and know exactly what you're doing. People just don't care. So yeah, so honestly, for me personally, I write you off. Once I see that, I'm like, you can't even send an email. What are you doing here? So at the end of the day, I'm back to what I was saying. People that don't send emails, yeah, of course, DMs, I would respond to a DM and all of that. But for me, what makes my skin crawl is just the unprofessionalism. I can't stand it. I just feel like people are very dilly-dally with the whole content thing. It all goes back to them just not respecting it enough to give it that, that much respect at the end of the day. But someone could just message you a hi. I say this on my Instagram all the time. Hi. And you expect it. Then they'll go and say that I messaged you, you're not serious. Seems like you don't want to do business, but you just sent hi.
Yeah.
What am I gonna use your hi for? And so when you're engaging with a client, this is just to educate. I feel like everybody should always have something that you see. When a client reaches out to you, just respond, hi, thank you so much for reaching out to me. Thank you so much for considering me for this, whatever it is. I just feel like that's just ideal. And at the end of the day, when you and a client are negotiating and you feel like whatever they're doing is disrespectful to you as a creative, that reminds me, I just remember the story that I've been wanting to see this whole time. So you guys remember what I'm saying right now and just listen to this. Get closer. So basically, there's an upcoming event and this company reached out to me that, they want to create content. They want me to create content for this event. It's actually a concert, and no names. There are so many concerts coming up this year. You can think about whatever you want to think about. But yeah, they reached out to me. They're like, they want me to create content for this, this concert. They want me to do this and they want me to do that. They tell me. They actually give me things that they want me to do. All right, okay, moving on. Now, is it a paid opportunity? Because that's what I always ask. Don't surprise me.
Yeah,
Is it a paid opportunity? Bear in mind, as they were talking, they were like, because I'm advertising tickets, I'm going to be showing the tickets. And so when I was like, is there a paid opportunity? The person goes on to say, yeah, the ticket. And I'm like, huh? First of all, who says I won't even come for your show? You're giving me the ticket for what if I didn't have plans to even attend the show? And so at this point, this is where you have to keep your composure because it's really annoying. And this happens at a very, it happens almost all the time. So obviously you're going to get fed up. Some people will probably just say some nonsense or, do something that they shouldn't do professionally. But you always have to keep your cool. I always see this. So they're like, they want to pay you. And then I'm like, sorry, I don't quite understand what you mean. You always have to kind of work your way around it. So I was telling them that, I didn't understand what they meant. And, they went ahead to make the situation worse by telling me that they had a budget and they paid other influencers. But in my case, can you imagine that the effrontery? In my case, they were actually supposed to give out a free ticket, but they don't want to give the ticket out for free because it's too easy. And so they'll rather have me record content to pay. Like, literally, they mentioned names of influencers that they had paid. And at this point, I didn't understand what was happening. I'm like, is this a prank? One, is this a prank? Two, is this supposed to help your case? Because if you're telling me you paid other people, am I not worth being paid? And all this thing. And this happens, trust me. Look, this is probably nothing. There are deeper stories that I probably can't remember. So I'm just saying this to say that when you see people come, because people like this, they will come. And they would always tell you that it's for a long-term relationship. It's not for short-term, like, oh, just do this for us now. Just trying to tell you that they have more in store for you. Honestly, to me, that's just a no. Once somebody indirectly insults you, I just feel like you don't need to go back and forth with them. You just need to end it. Oh, thank you so much. Unfortunately, this wouldn't work for me at this time. And so, yeah, that's just to say that. So the process and everything, just make sure you're respectful no matter what. People would disrespect you to the core. And sometimes it even makes me want to give up. Like, why would somebody tell me this? This is actually very demeaning. It's very easy for me as a content creator to want to quit and say, you know what, if people are continually like disrespecting me, what's the point of doing this? Do you get what I mean? But at the end of the day, you just need to keep your head up and just, do what you have to do. Yeah.
One last question.
Okay.
So, this has to do with your mental health. I don't want to say, I don't know you or just in the industry per se. So I just want to know, a lot of the time people associate artists with, they consider a little cool. You know what I'm talking about? Like they're not okay or they're struggling and art is their means of expressing themselves. So I just want to know about your personal experience. Has it been something that has taken a heavy toll on your mental health? What are some of the things that you've been through, that kind of stuff?
Actually, to touch on that, I actually did learn something in class. I do 2 courses. So I do theater arts as well, which is amazing for what I do as a creative. By the way, yeah, so I did, and there's some truth to it. Not to the fact that people are crazy and so that's why they do what they do, but to the fact that the way people express their arts is deeply rooted in, whatever they've been through. So, for instance, even with, like, all the way back to, what's the word? Us being colonized by our colonial master.
Yeah.
If you see the way South Africans do their art and the way Nigerians do their art and the way Ghanaians do their art, it's all different. And it's all channeled from some form of slavery or some form of oppression or some form of something. So, yeah, in a way, if let's say I'm singing, right, and I want to write a song, it's always going to be from a place. And so, yeah, there's some truth to it. But then again, I don't think, it doesn't mean that people are just crazy and people are in this space, they don't have sense and they're just doing things, just to, because they're also happy feelings. Let's not just always think about them going mad and all of that. There's also like happy things. People craze from being happy from so many things. And I feel like that's just what makes it beautiful. And for me, how is my mental health in this whole brouhaha thing and everything that I've, mentioned? Honestly, I think I'm 80%. I always say I don't think you can be 100% because life is crazy. Life always happens. And so for me, I'll say I'm okay. There have been times where I have been shaky in my mental health. And honestly, that doesn't even really have to do with social media. That's just my personal life. And so I see a lot of times that a lot of content creators say, oh, I'm taking a break and I'm doing this. And it is extremely important to do that, to take a break and all of that. So all in all, mental health is very important. And I love that social media is it's just a space that is really pushing the agenda for mental health because trust me, it's crazy when your mental health, like in the right frame of mind. And so, yeah, I guess I've answered your question about, mental health and all of that.
You mentioned earlier on that you're a student. Okay, so what are your final words for creatives out there, especially those that are actually like enduring lots of pressure from their parents? Like, how do they balance?
How do you? Okay, as a student, it's very difficult. I already mentioned that if your parents are not supporting you, it's going to be very difficult for you to, continue to want to be in this space. And then it goes into your mental health. It's like it goes into your head. Now you're depressed. It's like nobody's allowing you to do exactly what you want to do. Honestly speaking, I feel like you need to kind of balance things out. I would say that if you know that you're in a house where your parents are not, like, I mean, you can't really express yourself, but sometimes you just have to kind of do what they want in order to also have your peace of mind. And that doesn't mean you need to stop creating. That doesn't mean you can't do all these things. It's just like, okay, maybe when they are there, do what they want. Show them that, okay, mommy, I'm learning for, make a bargain. Mommy, I'm learning for 3 hours. But after that, I want to go and do this. They tell them that you go back to the books. Like, you always have to find your way around it. I always believe that you need to, if you really, really want to do something, you don't need to make excuses. Like, a lot of us, like a lot of people my age, I hear them, oh, they want to do this, but there's always an excuse. Oh, I don't do this because maybe my mom doesn't. I don't do this because, but at the end of the day, you need to throw away all those excuses, because you're never going to be able to move if you're always stuck in, oh, my mom doesn't allow me to do this and my mom doesn't allow me. Because at the end of the day, you're not killing anybody. As long as what you're doing is not hurting anybody or anything, I believe that there's always going to be a way you can do it. Trust me, when I first started creating content, I didn't have a good phone. I think I had, what phone was I using? Okay, yeah, you could say it's a good phone, but me honestly, I didn't like the phone. It was an iPhone 6 at the time. Actually, no, it wasn't even an iPhone 6. I think it was like an iPhone or an iPod or something. Yeah, or it was like an Android, and not the good Androids that have like good camera qualities, like the really bad ones. And look at me, I didn't have any, like nobody in my house was using an iPhone. But if I wanted to take a picture and I know I have a friend that has an iPhone, I would call that friend. Oh, babe, I'll take you for lunch. Like, let's just go and take pictures. Come and take pictures of me. So it always starts from somewhere. You just have to find, work your way around it. Because at the end of the day, no matter what situation you find yourself in, once you start to think out of the box and like move out of that, you'll see things start to open up for you. And yeah, so that's just my take on that.
Okay, so Matilda, our last question. Dating. As a content creator, obviously you have your personal life aside what you're showing to your audience. And I'm sure your fans are dying, myself included. We're dying to know what's happening behind the scenes. So tell us about it. Like, how is it like maintaining a balance between having a healthy relationship and, just thriving in your career, all of that? Yeah, so
honestly, it is quite difficult. I mean, now it's okay. I'm not in a relationship, just to clear that. But I mean, I have had people that, have been in my space while I'm in this space. But, and I've had different encounters with different people. There are people, like I've been with someone who's a complete opposite. Didn't like camera, didn't like such a private person.
boring.
Look, there was even a point, it was so bad that, I think that one, it was just like an issue with the person. Love you. But I think that was just an issue with the person, because the person didn't even want me to take photos of, like, maybe if we go out and we're at a restaurant, and I'm taking a photo of my face. He didn't want his place in the photo.
Imagine you're controlling much.
That's weird, right?
Yeah.
Love you. But yeah, like, I'm just trying to say, like, there's so many different characters, and I, for one, I'm a YouTuber. I like to make people comfortable around me. If we're not that tired, I'm meeting you for the first time, I'm not going to put a camera in your face, because I don't know how you see. So I'll ask you, oh, are you okay if I record you? Or if I'm even taking a video and maybe someone's at the back, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to record you. The person will be like, oh, no, don't worry, it's fine. I always like to make people feel comfortable. Because honestly, I believe in respecting people's boundaries. As I was saying, with this relationship thing, I've had like 2 different experiences. There are people who, like, I've had somebody, I'm talking to or whatever, that doesn't want to be in the limelight or doesn't want to be on social media, doesn't want to do cute videos with me on YouTube, but would be very supportive with me, about what I do. And yeah, would even take pictures with me, but it's just like, oh, just don't post this online, because, I just don't.
But is that something you love to do? Yeah, I'd like to post my big kind of person.
I have a lot to say about this issue. Now, honestly, before, I think I used to be so against posting your partner. And that's honestly just because, like, I used to have this mindset that, which is a bad mindset, bear in mind that, oh, if he's not my husband, I shouldn't post him. And I also feel like that's deeply rooted in a whole different topic of just women not being free enough to have multiple, like, I feel like people think it's such a taboo to break up with someone when you're like, what? Oh, you showed off that this was your partner, how sad. No, I'm in a new relationship, you're posting your boundary side. Do you understand? Like, and it's always like So I used to have this thing, but now I don't care. Honestly, I believe it's life. Yeah, no, obviously the first person you date is not who you're going to marry. I mean, it happens for some people, but it's not realistic. And so at the end of the day, I just feel like now my perspective has changed. If I want to post, depending on my partner, if he's comfortable, if I want to post him, I will go ahead and post him. And I don't care what anybody has to say. The only thing is that maybe I probably would, what I'm against is bringing your family business online. Like maybe your family issues, you and your boyfriend are fighting, then it's online. Why is it online? Like, okay, you can take your pictures, but you don't need to pour all of that. And that is when people will come in and say that, oh, but you're not being real. People say that a lot, that you're not being real online.
Yeah.
And that you're not being this, you're not being that because you're not posting your struggle. And I have a lot to say about that. You know, that just takes me to another like conversation about that. Nobody in life, like nobody sees somebody on the road and tells them, hey, today I didn't eat, I couldn't buy what you. Why would, like, who does that? Like, you wouldn't see somebody and tell them that, oh, maybe this happened to me, like something, but I just feel like, so whenever people say you're not being realistic, like things on social media are not really real, I don't support that motion, because at the end of the day, everything is about perspective, right? When you go to work, the people at your workplace see you in a certain light. So when you're with your friends clubbing, they see you in a different light. You cannot show everybody who doesn't have any business, you knowing certain parts about your life. You can't be telling them all these things. I don't believe in that. And so everybody just has what they need to shoot. And so that just goes back to the whole relationship thing. It just depends on your partner. I think you just need to respect people's boundaries, and also just need to, you know, do what you want to do. If you want to post your partner, go ahead and post. Personally, it depends for me on who I'm with and what they like and what they don't like. I don't have anything against that. Maybe you see me posting my partner in the future. But yeah, for now, that's just where I stand.
One more thing before we go. Once again, this is Reality Check, a Star Creators Africa initiative powered by 11 Space. You can check us out on Instagram, both Star Creators and 11 Space. Check us out on all social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Also, big shout out to MCV Rentals. They sponsored our production equipment. Guys, let's give them a round of applause. Woo, 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 woo. Thank you guys.
Everything you can see here, our lives, our camera, our equipment. Catch you on the next episode, guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.